my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is indeed the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa and Somuayina, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So as per your requests throughout my last videos, today I will be focusing not only on everything that you need to know and all the messages that your guides have for you, but I will be putting special emphasis on your financial future as well as your career. And in order to help you figure out what's coming next and how you can make the best possible decisions for your financial future, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So each one of these groups is made up of a postcard as well as a crystal. So at the beginning of each reading, I will read your designated postcard to you because that postcard was meant for you. This is kind of like a letter straight from your guides, a letter straight from the universe to you with information that is helpful and relevant for you. So the 4 groups that you can choose from today are as follows. Group number 1 represents the Fluorite. Group number 2 represents the Pyrite. Group number 3 represents the Amethyst. And group number 4 represents the Carnelian as well as the red Jasper. And as usual, the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found down below in the description box. So once you have selected one of these 4 groups that you feel really drawn towards, scroll down into the description box where you can click your corresponding timestamp and you'll be fast forwarded to your reading. I'm so excited to be conducting these readings for you today and to be sharing this space with you. So make sure that you're feeling relaxed, make sure that you're feeling like you're in a place where you can just sit back and focus on your reading. So if you need a snack, a drink, just something to make you feel more in the moment and kind of feel even more of the healing energies that I'm putting through to you through this content, through this reading, then do so. Make yourself comfortable, make yourself feel at home, because that is exactly what my channel is about. It's all about relaxing, winding down from our busy schedules, connecting with one another, talking about things that are serious and go a lot deeper than day-to-day conversations may provide, and just being in the moment, being mindful. And if you're all about that and you feel like my channel feels like home to you, make sure that you hit that subscribe button to never miss another video, because I do upload multiple times a week and I have done so for many years, so I will always be there for you to be able to count on. But I want to get into the readings now and not spend so much time within the intro. I will be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Fluorite, and to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Fluorite, group number 1. This is such a beautiful crystal that can feel very tranquilizing when you use it during meditation, or at least that's how I've been feeling about it as of recently. Let me read your postcard to you so you can receive your first pieces of information that are relevant to you right now. So on the front of your postcard, it says, "You are magic," group number 1. Dearest you, we know everything in the universe is perfect, even in its flaws, and we view the creations of spirit in total awe. All is unique, yet part of a unity of existence. But the human experience is a little different from ours. You tend to have a specific standard for what you consider ideal, and this isn't serving you right now. So forget your idea of perfection and see through our eyes, allowing things to be as they are without judgment. Don't wait until a perfect moment or mood to start something. Instead, enter life with all its flossomeness. I really love that word, flossomeness. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Let others be who they are too. Imperfect and human, complex and simple. It doesn't matter, for there is always something to discover, experience, and love. When you drop the need for an ideal, you uncover the real treasure, which will be far more interesting and valuable. Loving you like crazy. I love these messages from your guides, group number 1. I absolutely love the idea of dropping any type of ideal or anything that makes you want to fit into a mold. And instead of doing that, just embracing yourself, embracing how flawsome this world really is, and how amazing that it is to have flaws and to be different. Because if we were all the same, things would be so boring. Next up, we have the harp. So in the harp, I do see here, group number 1 for you, that there is great happiness that's on its way, great happiness that's on the horizon. This is a really positive start to your reading, group number 1. So I do see here that your career and your material needs are going to be fulfilled. Next, we have the needle and thread. Needle and thread showing up within a reading is foreshadowing that a sincere wish will be granted. So something that you sincerely want, something that you know you've maybe worked hard for, or you know would be in good hands with you, be it, for example, another human being, a partner, a relationship, an animal, maybe having a lot of responsibility at work, but therefore also having like a higher rank or position. I can see here in the needle and thread that this wish is something that will be granted sooner rather than later. Next up, we have the 9 of coins reversed. In the 9 of coins reversed, I do see that, in a sense, you're very close to this wish being granted. You're very close to the next pivotal stage of your career and the next pivotal stage of you moving forward, really, when it comes to material things that you've always wanted in your life. But in the 9 of coins showing up reversed, I see that there are some sort of delays for you, group number 1. Now let's figure out what those delays may be, why they're occurring, and how you can maybe avoid delaying the success that is inevitably here for you. Next up, we have the 2 of chalices. Now, group number 1. I don't think that you're going to want to delay this, okay? In the 2 of chalices, I see that what's holding you up is going to be love. It's going to be passion. It's going to be feeling like you're really alive. And as you can see here in the 2 of chalices, we have 2 beautiful like mermaid type creatures that are just loving one another. So don't feel as though my readings have to apply to a specific type of romantic ideal. Just like we spoke about within your postcard, forget about ideals, whether it's in your love life or in your career. Be who you want to be. Love who you want to love. You don't need to justify or explain anything to anyone else. Just enjoy. One thing that may be holding you up from leveling up is maybe if you're hiding away, tucking your preferences away, whether it be how you prefer people to treat you or what you prefer your love life to look like at this very point in time. So, for example, hiding the fact that maybe you don't want to be in a relationship or have children or be in that conservative type of marriage, whatever it is that you're trying to keep away from the public or from friends and family. I see that this is something that can further slow down your success because people can feel when you're being inauthentic. They may not be able to put their finger on it, but they will feel like something is kind of off, something is kind of strange with you, so embrace who you are. Next up, we have the 4 of coins. So in the 4 of coins, I can definitely see here that there will be financial losses if you choose to continue hiding parts of yourself that you know need to come out. And these financial losses don't need to be in terms of you losing your job or anything like that. These financial losses could be a result of you, for example, needing to seek out medical attention because you're feeling very fatigued or you're feeling like life is just way too much to deal with. And that's okay. Just do know that at the end of the day, even when you get checked, you will have to probably put in some work if it boils down to you being overworked and you keeping a lot hidden, because there are kind of 2 types of ailments, right? There are ailments that seem to spontaneously pop up, or things like colds and so on. But then there are ailments that seem to be far too close to home, okay? Far too close to, for example, if you're dealing with a difficult relationship or you feel as though it's hard to express your feelings with someone, it could be a lover, it could be a family member, and your throat constantly being sore, your throat chakra is blocked. chances are high that because of this blockage, you're experiencing soreness around your throat, and therefore you may have to seek medical attention because of that. So keep in mind that your body is really in need of a holistic approach and not compartmentalizing your body and feeling as though what's going on with you psychologically doesn't have anything to do with physical outcomes, because they are in fact things that intertwine. Next up, we have the medicine wheel. So in the medicine wheel, group number 1, I can definitely see here that it's all about healing and understanding that you hold a lot of power to heal yourself in difficult situations. And often we feel like our hands are tied, or like only a medical professional and medicine that has been created somewhere in a lab can truly help us. But often that type of approach treats the symptom and not the cause. So the symptom should make you aware of the fact that maybe, just maybe, you can take better care of yourself and not only thrive personally and physiologically, but also thrive in a professional setting, because now your mind is clearer, you're more focused, and you're able to go for the prize. You're able to go for that promotion, to go to that next financial height, or to build that successful business that you've always wanted. Next up, we have Beauty Way. So I do see here, group number 1, that the universe is trying to communicate to you to do what feels amazing and to do what makes you feel beautiful, handsome, attractive, whatever of those words that you prefer. I want you to know here in Beauty Way that when you're following something that makes you feel good about yourself, usually that results in you being able to move forward more quickly, because you're feeling comfortable, you're feeling like you're in your element. So results are going to be way better than if you're doing something that feels weird or that doesn't feel like it's in line with your values and your morals. So for example, if you do not believe in harming innocent beings, then obviously if you were to work in a butchery, that is not in alignment, and you most likely won't be as successful there as if you were in a career where you were actually helping animals, such as, for example, being a vet or being a nurse to little baby animals that you love so much. Next up, we have the super moon. So in the super moon, group number 1, I can see here that you're attracting things to you almost like a magnet. So it's so important that you're aware of the energies that you're putting out and of what's going through your mind, because when you're thinking that you're healthy, young, and full of vitality, then that is something that is going to attract more of this type of energy to you. But if you're really kind of a little bit of a hypochondriac, if you're a little bit worried about every little sneeze, every little headache, then of course you're going to think it into something bigger than it is, and that may transpire into actually being unwell. So be very aware of how strong your manifestation powers are right now, group number 1, and use them to your benefit and not your detriment. Next up, we have the waning gibbous 2. Now, group number 1, I can see that there is some pleasure that's here and relevant in your life, and that pleasure may have to do with the 2 of chalices, so have fun, especially if it is just physical or emotional fun with another human being. Talk to other people in a way that resonates. Don't feel like you just have to skim the surface and talk about the weather. Be that person who surprises everyone with their depth. And I do see here in the waning gibbous 2 that also exploring what really feels good in your body is what you're being called to do at this point in time. Then we have the full moon. Now, group number 1, the full moon is full of power, and it is just that time during celestial events where you're going to want to let go of things, where you're going to want to allow yourself to let go of these feelings of needing to be perfect or creating a specific type of content or aesthetic. If you, for example, would like to be a blogger, create a store, or just some sort of product to the outside world. Because of how the media is, we can feel very intimidated when we have a different aesthetic or style that isn't displayed as much, and therefore we may try to fit in more than be authentic. So I do want you to know here in the full moon, group number 1, that the fact that you have so much power that's within is something that you can bring out if you allow yourself to understand that you're going to be different. You're always going to be different. Group number 1, there's nothing you can do to change you. But what you can do in order to create a more prosperous future is to finally embrace that and to understand here in the 9 of Coins that any delays that are present when it comes to your career, when it comes to your professional success, they're present because you're not fully allowing yourself to let go of worries of what other people may think of you. So any type of delays are here because you're not fully letting go of unrealistic expectations or feelings of wanting to be perfect. Now, group number 1, I don't want you to feel as though there is so much work that you have to do. It's a very simple act of just letting go and not having any expectations. And I know it sounds easier than it really actually is to put that into play, to actually practice what you preach. But keep in mind, group number 1, that you have so much power over where your life goes and over your decision making and your feelings. So if you inspire yourself with amazing healing content, either here on YouTube or on some other platform, it could be a song that always makes you feel really good about yourself. Play that, put that on, shift your vibration, and put yourself in that state of mind where you remind yourself of who you are, group number 1, and the fact that you're not going to allow any worries or any feelings of being inadequate or insecure get between you and your next successes that you have for yourself financially. This is actually something that I just discussed last night in my Instagram stories, so make sure that you follow me on Instagram if you made it to the end of your reading and if you're interested in hearing more on all of these topics. Furthermore, group number 1, leave a little snake emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading. Thank you so much for sharing this divine space with me today, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Pyrite group number 2, which is also known as the Fool's Gold. I really love this stone because obviously it is glittery, it's glamorous, and it has that energy of abundance. But let's move into your reading to figure out what it is that you need to know and also what your postcard says. So on the front of your postcard, it says, live your dreams, group number 2. So dearest you, isn't it amazing how things seem to come around again full circle in ways you could not possibly have planned? You wonder how a dream could die only to be resurrected years later when you're really ready. You thought it was time back then, but your wisdom knows better than your small self whose desires are unmet. Now here you are with a new opportunity to do things from a different, more mature perspective. We want you to trust that in this new opportunity for rebirth, you will be called in 2 directions, and the one that is unfamiliar will be the right one. In the unknown spaces, the uncharted places of infinite potential, we are waiting to guide you into your fullest life. Big bounty will come if you remain in the present. You have come full circle, and now you can see that everything changes, is made new, and is given new hope. Loving you always. So these are the messages from your guides that are present for you, group number 2. I really hope that those resonated already, but let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what you need to know in here. First up, we have the Queen of Swords. Group number 2, in the Queen of Swords, I can see that what you need to hear is to be direct, to be open, and to be unafraid to say what it is that you're truly thinking. The Queen of Swords has that air sign energy, so Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini energy that is great at storytelling, great at keeping people's attention on what it is that they're saying, but at the same time, they're very honest and some may say even ruthless, okay? So if you know an air sign, or that is something that you resonate with and you have a lot of air sign energy within your birth chart, this is something that you understand all too well, group number 2. Next up, we have the 10 of coins. So I can definitely see here that when it comes to achieving financial success, be tough as nails, group number 2. Don't be afraid to rub someone the wrong way. When it's about business, it's about business. It's not about feelings. And that's where you have to make a strong differentiation, just as the Queen of Swords is pushing you to do. Differentiate between liking somebody, but still knowing when it's time to be honest and when it's time to maybe cut someone off or cut someone out when your business is involved and your financial future. Next up, we have the 7 of Swords. I do see here in the 7 of Swords, group number 2, that a reason why you were called to this reading and why you're here right now listening to this is because the universe wants you to know that somebody hasn't been completely honest with you, and that has to do with your career and your financial future. So there may be some false promises that someone made to you. There may be some sort of going behind your back that is going on here in the 7 of Swords. Let's figure out in what context. We have the Empress. So this is someone that is maybe pretty near and dear to your heart. So think a family member that you thought you could start a business with, or you hoped you could trust with money, you hope you could trust with your dreams and aspirations, but actually they have taken from you and never planned on giving back, or actually they never truly were as passionate at starting a business with you as you were. Or maybe another option is that you tell them what you truly want to accomplish and they leave you feeling unsupported and they leave you feeling incapable in a way, even though they should be closest to you, just as the Empress suggests. So that is where you're being called to be really careful, group number 2. Sometimes friends and family members aren't really that happy for your financial success. A lot of friends and family members can get really funny when it comes to your career and your success, and they can actually show a little bit of a catty, backstabbing side. So it's always best to keep certain things that are near and dear to your heart private until you're ready to put it out there and potentially not receive the reaction that you desired. Next up, we have the Staff. Now, group number 2, you have been called to watch this video because the universe wants you to know that you can stand up for yourself and protect yourself from any type of emotional hurt that has to do with your career and with your finances. Standing up for yourself means no longer lending out money that you don't feel comfortable lending out, no longer helping people get ahead if you even have the slightest little incline that you think they might not do the same back, or that makes you believe that they will take all of the help that you're offering and just be gone. Next up, we have the Circle. Group number 2, surround yourself with full circle people. People who are there when things are going well and when things are not so great. And people who will always have advice to offer in both situations, or in any type of situations. I can see here in the Circle that it's all about this notion of completion and feeling complete in yourself as well as your career. I do see, group number 2, that it will be hard for you to properly operate unless you know that there is reciprocity there. And reciprocity meaning that if you help somebody out in a difficult situation, they will do the same back. So anyone who has shown you a different side, or has shown you that really they only know how to take and not how to give, that is where the 7 of Swords comes in, and where group number 2, you need to maybe just, well, not maybe, you need to cut the person out, okay? And you need to protect yourself, or at least distance yourself to the point where they're unable to hurt you, even if they tried. Next up, we have the 2 of Swords. Now, group number 2, decisions. I see that that is something that you're going to have to put up with. You're not going to know what the outcome is going to be at the end of the day, but decisions have to be made regardless. You can't wait for an answer. I do see here in the 3 of Cups that once you make the choice to cut somebody out, or to be very honest about how you want to move forward in your business and to make big moves, Once you've decided to do that and you follow through with it, I do see here in the Three of Cups that celebration is something that awaits you. Next up, we have the Knight of Diamonds as well as the Queen of Cups. So in the Queen of Cups, worry not, fear not, group number 2, as I can see here in the Queen of Cups, that your emotions are something that you're always afraid will run wild or will be that thing that drags you back down. So just imagine somebody who knows you really well and knows how to push your buttons, constantly doing so in difficult situations and therefore making you look unstable. Sometimes just in front of you, but sometimes in front of other people. But I do see here in the Queen of Cups that you're wise to those games and that you no longer need to fear that they're going to be able to lure you in to some type of game that you don't want to be a part of. I can see in the Knight of Diamonds in correspondence to the Empress, well, the Knight of Diamonds reversed, that when it comes to your financial future and your career, take a little bit of time to think about what choice that you want to make. Yes, you should take action and move forward, but at the same time, make sure that you're not just doing so on a whim. It is important for you to take a little bit of time to plan ahead, as well as to make sure that you are well taken care of. So don't overwork yourself, group number 2, to the point where you forgot when the last time was that you ate or had a snack, or when the last time was that you had a full night's sleep, a full rest, and you properly slept in. These are all things that shouldn't be once in a blue moon type of privileges. It is important for you to make sure that you're taking care of those needs to also just be human. I do see, group number 2, that you are someone who is very strong, somebody who once they make up their mind, they are determined to get there and to get to a place that makes them feel successful, but at the same time, you have all the time in the world, okay? You often, as a human being, overestimate or set goals way too high to accomplish within 12 months or a year, rather than setting more long-term goals, because overestimating what you can do in a year and underestimating what you can do in a decade is a very common theme amongst us human beings. So try to really think about that. When have you overestimated what you can do in a year and underestimated all of your accomplishments in a decade? Just think about the last decade of your life. Group number 2, I assume you're at least a decade old if you're watching this. And think about all of the things that you accomplished that is actually like a long list. Whereas if you think of everything you want to accomplish in 1 year, it can feel a lot more like daunting and like time is running out and like you never really accomplish anything. But keep in mind here that good things often really do take time. It's not just a saying, and to give yourself that time as well, that financial prosperity is something that is here for you. I see in the 10 of Coins that that's not something that you are struggling with. It's more the emotional aspect of money making and the dynamics, the relationship dynamics that are present for you, group number 2. Furthermore, in the Empress, I wouldn't be surprised if, for example, a pregnancy around you is announced soon. It could even be one that you're very closely involved with. So this is one thing that I want you to look out for, and I want you to set a good example for the next generation, because you're capable of it and you're one of those people who is mature enough to lead others in the right direction. Now, group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave a little diamond emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading, and also just as a token of good luck. If you made it to this point, like, we clearly vibe with one another, so you might as well watch another video or follow me on Instagram. The link is down below in the description box for my Instagram profile as well. I've been posting really regularly on Instagram as well as TikTok, and I would be delighted to have you as part of the fam over there as well. So group number 2, thank you so much for sharing this divine time and space with me. Know that I'm sending you so much love, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amethyst group number 3, which is such a beautiful stone that helps you strengthen your intuition, and it really encourages any type of psychic powers that you may feel like you have. But let's move into your reading, shall we? On the front of your postcard, it says hope floats. So let's see what it is that the universe and your guides truly want you to know more of for your situation. Dearest you, let us ask you, are you looking for happiness outside of your everyday, moment-to-moment experience, thinking you will find happiness out there someday? So many go chasing a magic it out there, but it never could be found there. So we want to share a secret that shouldn't be a secret. You are pure joy. What made you is pure joy. And every time you wake up and even when you sleep, you have joy waiting to be expressed inside you. Joy and happiness and fullness come from doing joy, being joy, knowing it, cultivating it, and lighting it in your heart so you can share it. You must know this so when the time comes, you will be fully free and your joyful being and actions will turn you into a beacon of starlight. Look within and be joyful, even for tears and loss, for they mean you have lived, really lived. Jump into it all and love every minute. We all love you like crazy over here. So these are the messages from your guides, group number 3. I really hope that they already resonated and that you enjoyed them. But now let's move into your reading, starting off with this beautiful tarot deck. So first and foremost, we have the 7 of chalices. Now group number 3, in the 7 of chalices, I see that you have more options than you're aware of. So options meaning different options for your career, different options on how you can become successful and different degrees of success. You may feel as though, oh, I think I can become this successful, but beyond that, I can't really imagine. But I do see here in the 7 of chalices that there are a lot more options, limits, and levels available for you than you ever realized. Next up, we have the 3 of coins. Now, group number 3, in the 3 of coins, I do see some unexpected financial help coming your way. So this could be a friend or a family member that lends you money or gives you something that really helps you out. Now, this doesn't have to be a financial gift. It could be, for example, making you amazing food so you don't need to cook and you don't need to spend time, money, or effort going to the store. So those type of gifts that are on the material side, but they don't have to be money or anything lavish. Next up, we have the 2 of coins. So in the 2 of coins, group number 3, I do see here that your work-life balance is a little crazy, so maybe right now you're really all about work and not about life, or you're all about living and chilling and not getting much work done. I do see here in the 2 of coins that balance is something that the universe wants you to get back into your existence. Next up, we have the Page of Coins. So in the Page of Coins, there is this childlike wonderment that you're capable of, group number 3, but sometimes it also keeps you in a space of procrastination and in a space of kind of really like avoiding what actually needs to be done. So I do see here in the Page of Coins that it's important for you to kind of like man up, woman up, unicorn up, whoever you identify as up, okay? Just make sure that you get yourself to that place where you understand that there's no point in procrastinating or feeling bad because you haven't done something for a long time, because procrastination is part of the equation, but at the same time, when you procrastinate, you often fall into this space where you're speaking to yourself badly. You're saying what a loser you are, or how awful you are for not having completed something or kept your promise to yourself or to another person. And when you're at that point and you're beating yourself up, obviously that doesn't help you move forward. So try to just cross that out. Group number 3, you don't need that, and it's not helpful. And the best thing for you to do really is to give yourself a fresh chance, give yourself a fresh start, and don't be so hard on yourself. Everyone procrastinates, trust me, I do it too, and it's okay. Next up, we have the Emperor reversed. So in the Emperor reversed, spend a lot of time making a plan on how you can stop procrastinating and stop feeling bad about certain things in your career. So maybe you're not quite where you want to be, or you're not making as much money as you'd like to make. So in the Emperor reversed, I definitely can tell here that you have to put in a little bit of research and then make a plan. So the Emperor upright is more about planning ahead, whereas reversed shows a delay, and that delay has everything to do with the fact that you have different options. It's just all about picking the right one. For me, for example, journaling as well as writing down things every day that I want to accomplish. So don't write down more than like 3 or 4 things in a day that you want to accomplish and then you're proud of yourself if you've done so that day. Stick to that. That is a way how you can ensure that you will be able to feel proud of yourself every single day if you cross off those 3 or 4 tasks that you know will make you feel proud. Next up, we have the Sun. So in the Sun, know that everything is going to turn out amazingly for you, group number 3. The Sun is one of the most favorable tarot cards. So you having that show up within your reading just shows ultimately that you're most likely also a chronic overthinker and someone who worries a lot. And that can drive you to overwork yourself, to have workaholic tendencies because you want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to ensure success. But I do see here in the Page of Sun as well as the Page of Diamonds that at the end of the day, you have to also just let things happen in their own time and to remind yourself that even people who you find wildly successful, they don't work all the time, group number 3. They often have hobbies, family, friends that they like to hang out with, travel with, and they don't just confine themselves to work. They know how important it is to have balance, and for that balance to inspire and invoke change as well as to inspire them to be inventive and creative. Next up, we have the Waning Crescent 4, and the Waning Crescent 4 is all about release and releasing your expectations, releasing the type of labels that you've maybe put on yourself, and those labels may be not quite there yet, not quite successful yet, or maybe not as good at your job as you would like to be. Maybe the label is even something really hurtful like fraud. And that is one thing that I think a lot of us deal with, especially when we are self-employed, when we are business owners. It's easy to feel out of place or like you're a fraud because school doesn't teach you about career things, to be honest. Like, school doesn't really teach you how to be an entrepreneur. Even if you study economics, they don't teach you how to run a business from the ground, from nothing, okay? So one thing that I can see here in the Thunder Moon is that change is something that you should embrace, don't be afraid of, and don't feel like you're out of place. Because with change comes opportunity, and that's why you have so much opportunity present, group number 3, because change is something that is following you around and that you can use for your benefit. But if you're afraid of the change or you feel really out of place, then that of course can really put the brakes on your success. So group number 3, one of the biggest pieces of advice that I have for you is to study, is to research, and is to read stories of people who are in the same situation that you're in financially and professionally, and allow their stories to work as a as kind of like your fuel, right? To move you forward, to propel you to a place of being fearless and of understanding that even the most quote unquote successful people out there started somewhere, and even they were in the situation that you're in, and that should not mean that you can't get to that same end result. And that should actually be more of a driving force that reminds you like, hey, if they can do it, then so can I. Now, group number 3, these are the messages that you needed to hear, that your guides wanted you to have as part of your journey. Leave a little sun emoji down below in the comment section as a token of good luck, and also to show me and others that you made it to the end of your reading. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram. The link is down below in the description box, as well as my TikTok. I post very regularly now on both platforms, so make sure that you follow me on there to stay in the loop, and also to receive more healing messages, also to just have more of this type of supportive energy within your life. So group number 3, I really hope that you enjoyed spending this time with me just as much as I enjoyed spending this time with you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the red Jasper as well as the Carnelian, group number 4, which are really energizing types of stones. I absolutely love their vibrant red colors. That's what makes them just my faves. But let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly what messages you need to hear and the universe has for you. So on the front of your postcard, it says, be fearless. Now let's see what the messages are, group number 4. Dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So to get the answers you seek, you must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask, why do you tell it? Is it really true? What can be true? Can you see the truth that spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves stories, for they are like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the one you know to be true. A story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience your world according to the story you tell about it. So make sure they're stories you're proud of. Genuine, loving fan club. So group number 4, this is a postcard that you received from your guides that you felt drawn towards. Now let's move into your reading, starting off with this beautiful tarot deck. First, we have the 5 of coins. Now, group number 4, I can definitely see here that you're being called to watch out for financial misfortune. And by watching out for financial misfortune, I mean avoiding it, okay? If you need some sort of insurance on yourself, on a car, get it. Because that situation where you wish you were insured or you wish you would have made sure that you had a nest egg, when it occurs, it's already too late. You can't go back and do it. So I can see here in the 5 of coins that you're being called to really look at every little detail that you can, group number 4, and secure yourself. This is not a negative thing. This is great for you to have received this card right now, rather than something happening and then you would have wished that you did things differently. Okay, so see this as an opportunity, group number 4. Next up, we have the Page of Coins. I can see here in the Page of Coins that if you are breaking generational curses, okay, if you're like the only more successful one in your family, or the only one who is spiritual, or the only one who has gotten to a certain point on their route to being educated, then it may feel like you're the only one who really understands the problems or the struggles that come with that, right? It wasn't like just a saying when they said more money, more problems, okay? Because the more you have, the more you know, the more you need to take care of everything that's in your life. That's just the reality of it. So I can see here the Page of Coins reversed, that if you feel like you need tips from someone who isn't family or from someone who isn't like a friend, especially if you are on a whole nother level with your career or where you're trying to go when it comes to your success, read books, listen to podcasts, reach out to fellow entrepreneurs, fellow academics, just fellow people in your field for tips. You would be surprised at how willing they are to help, and at how many other people are in a situation like you, where they're the first one in their family or friend circle to do something different, and therefore to not really have anyone to reach out to or ask for advice, and having to figure things out on your own. Next up, we have the Smoky Mirror. Now, group number 4, I do see here in the Smoky Mirror that you sometimes tend to see yourself through a lens that is not real or not close to reality. So you may have actual struggles with body dysmorphia or with low self-esteem, where you see yourself in a whole different light than other people see you. But it could also be less severe, let's put it that way, group number 4. However, I don't want you to feel as though because you're not diagnosed or because you're not known to struggle with these things that your struggles don't matter. If you see yourself in a worse light than other people do, or you have this inner monologue of not being good enough or putting yourself down, that is something that you need to address, and that is something that is really stifling your career, your professional success. Next up, we have the owl. I can see here in the owl that anxiety is most likely something that accompanies this smoky mirror scenario, where you're kind of afraid of everything that is unknown to you or that is new to you. So whether that is a new situation that you're in or a new point in your career, or maybe, for example, like a new person coming into your life, I see in the owl that you're very observant, and that sometimes that can result in an overly large amount of anxiety, of overthinking. So sometimes taking a step back is what you really need to remind yourself to do, group number 4. Next, we have the staff as well as the circle. I can see here in the staff that standing tall, standing proud, standing up for yourself, group number 4, is really important for you to reach more success in your career. I can see in the circle that surrounding yourself with a select group of people is beyond necessary, because you are truly the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. So make sure that those 5 people inspire you and that they are where you're headed. Okay, so we're not always able to be friends with somebody who we look up to, but then just connecting with someone who you look up to via listening to an interview or a podcast or reading their book, if they are like star level, okay, celebrity level, that is a very helpful method for you to connect with someone. So make sure that you invest in that and that you make that a habit. For example, I really love to listen to podcasts such as Entrepreneurs on Fire. I think those podcasts are really great because while I do love to conduct tarot readings, I also really am passionate about my businesses and my ventures. And so connecting with other entrepreneurs in this way has been invaluable, especially because I don't know many that are close to me physically that I can meet up with in person. So think of doing the same for yourself, group number 4. Next up, we have the coins. The coins are really favorable to have shown up in your reading, group number 4, because the coins show that money is coming towards you. And who doesn't like money? Who doesn't like financial prosperity and abundance? This is always a really great sign. Next up, we have the well. So in the well, I can see here that with financial prosperity and more financial freedom, you will be able to do something for your close friends and family, and you will be able to make somebody's wish come true. And that just is going to feel so much better to you than if it was one of your wishes that came true. I can see here in the man that there's going to be some sort of like dealing or some sort of contract that you may be signing with a man, some sort of business deal that's going down, that's going to bring you those coins, group number 4. And last but not least, in the bridge, I can see that any type of obstacles that may have been in the way of this contract or of this business deal, you're going to be able to bridge them, right? To overcome them. Not to be too punny on this channel, but you understand what I mean, group number 4. So overall, your financial future is looking really good, group number 4. It's looking as though financial abundance is coming towards you, but you have to learn to be less hard on yourself, and you have to learn to stand up for yourself, especially if there is some sort of negative inner monologue that is going on with you. Take a step back, distance yourself from that as much as you can, because it's just like it really doesn't deserve your time or energy, group number 4. There's no other way to put it. And you know that I always like to be very honest with you and almost like a big sister who you can trust to tell you the truth. So I'll just tell you how it is, group number 4. Be kind to yourself, and when you're being mean to yourself or when you're putting yourself down, remind yourself of who you are and remind yourself of how far you've come, and that it's really not worth your time and energy to be engaging in that type of behavior, and that you deserve so much better, and the people who you love deserve a better version of you that feels good in their body and that inspires and sparks joy. Now, group number 4, we're at the end of your reading, and I truly hope you enjoyed it. Leave a little money bag emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end, and also, of course, as a token of prosperity and good luck. Furthermore, if you love this reading and you vibe with me, make sure that you follow me on my Instagram. I've been posting a lot more regularly on Instagram as well as TikTok. It's just at Vanessa Somuayina on both platforms, while TikTok is at the Vanessa Somuayina. So I should be pretty easy to find and connect with. Group number 4, thank you for sharing this divine space with me, and I hope you enjoyed being here just as much as I enjoyed creating this video for you. Keep safe, and I'll see you in another one of my readings.